Hello, I'm Joanne, and this is Joe Mama's Garden. Today, we're going to separate tomato seedlings. Let's talk a little bit about tomatoes. Tomatoes take about 100 days before they are producing fruit. I am in zone 9B in Phoenix, Arizona. The temperature here very rarely gets to a freezing point, and if it does, it's only a day or two. I can typically start tomatoes now and grow them on the patio and plant them February time frame. Of course, it all depends on the temperature, but I am really expecting something warm this year. It has just been a crazy year. It's 104 today and expected to be 104 tomorrow, and this is the first weekend in October. I know, it's crazy. Our lows have been in the high 60s and the low 70s at night. So it's been kind of nice to wake up in the morning and feel a little bit of coolness. Let's go ahead and separate some seedlings. Before we get started, there are a few things we need to make sure we have. We're going to have some individual pots to go ahead and up-pot the seedlings into, and some newspaper to transfer all of the seedlings out of the existing starting pot. We're going to get some soil together, and then we're all good to go. I'm going to mix the soil that I am transferring the tomato starts into, and these are the products I'm going to use: garden soil, peat moss, vermiculite, and perlite. Let's go ahead and start mixing. What I'm also adding to the soil mixture is eggshell, trifecta plus, and worm castings from our worm bin. This is what the soil should look like after everything has been combined and mixed thoroughly. Now, before I take all of the starts out of this plastic container that I started the seeds in, I have labeled some placers for the plants that I am going to be putting in individual pots. I have 3 different kinds of tomatoes growing in this package. I have pineapple, Roma, and German striped German tomato. Let's go ahead and show you how I'm going to separate all of these seedlings. Let's go ahead and take this first section out. This is the pineapple tomato. So we're going to gently tease this out of here and let it fall. Same thing with this one, gently tease them out and fall. Now that they have come onto here, we're just going to grab this area here, and we're going to gently tease the roots apart. And now we have 2 little starts. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and get a container. We're going to put the starts in. I have pre-moistened the soil. I'm going to make a circle in the center all the way down to the bottom. You can do that with your finger here. We're going to put this start all the way at the bottom, as far down as it'll go. It's a tomato. We want to plant it deep. And don't worry if you don't have enough soil in here right now, because we're going to fill it up to the top. And this is going to create a really healthy root structure for our tomato. One other thing, let's make sure that we put our marker in so we know what tomato we have planted. There's one, 3 more to go. Again, we're going to do the same thing. Just making sure this is all nice and wet. I'm going to make a hole here in the center all the way down. Use my finger all the way to the bottom. Pick up our start, put it in all the way till it touches the bottom, and then close the dirt in around it. And again, we will add some more soil to make sure everything is topped off. Marker. And we're just going to repeat this until we're finished. All right, so let's start this one more time. We're going to take these seedlings, we're going to hold at the bottom and gently tease apart until the roots have separated. We're going to make a hole in the center, put this all the way down with that root structure, with all that root system. Make sure it goes down all the way, and close everything in around this tomato stem. And then we will add more soil at the end. Press down the soil, not super hard, but hard enough that it's going to hold this tomato where it needs to be. And don't forget, put your label so you know what you've transplanted. We'll go on to our next ones, next seedling starts, which are the Roma tomato. And let's go ahead and gently tease these out of the container, pushing up at the bottom. We're going to do the same thing on this side, pushing up at the bottom, and push all the way around and gently pull it out. Now this seedling is by itself, so it is pretty large here, but that's okay. We're going to leave it like that. We're going to get this container, we're going to make a larger circle. Let's get a couple fingers going in here, all the way to the bottom, so that this can go all the way down. We're going to place this in all the way down. Gently press. You don't want to break any of the root structure there if you don't need to. And then we're going to fill it with more soil. We can even use some of this. And we're going to fill it all the way to the top. And I'll fill that more with more soil here. Don't forget to put your label in so you know what you've transplanted. And there you have your transplant that you're going to be starting. Now when you have 2 that are together, or 3 that are together here, we're going to kind of shake off some of this excess soil. I'm going to make sure these are not connected up here at the leaf. And I'm going to gently tease this root structure away without breaking off as much as possible. Sometimes you do break off some, it's okay. The tomatoes are pretty resilient. So this one's going around a little bit. Get this, we'll tease them apart. And try to hold on to the root structure as much as you can. And we have a complete root structure here. And then on this one, these were much closer together when they were sown. And let's go ahead and see. Sometimes you unwrap, and there's that one. And here is this one with its root structure. Let's put this pineapple seedling before it becomes an unknown tomato. All the way down, close the soil around, gently press, and fill up to the top. When you are finished planting all of these, let's put our label in. There we go. These are all Romas. We'll put those all together, and I'll show you what we're going to do at the end with the So next I will show you what we're going to do at the end to make sure all the soil levels are where they need to be. Well, here is all of the tomatoes that we got from this one small container. I sowed them in here, and then we separated them, got them in here, and there are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16 tomatoes. That means that every single seed that I planted did sprout, did germinate. So next we're going to go ahead and put soil in the fill these containers up all the way to the top, and this is dry. The other was pre-moistened, so this is just going to press that in a little bit, and I'll water everything in. We'll get these all filled up. And we'll just wait for everything to continue to grow. These seedlings are 3 weeks old. I could have transplanted them a little bit sooner because some are large, like this one. It really should be buried about to here. That will happen when we go to the garden, because one unique thing that we know about tomatoes is tomatoes will root along their whole stem. They will fall on the ground if you don't stake them, and roots will start growing, and that's how they will continue to get nutrients, and they'll just keep on trying to root. That's what little fuzzy stuff that's on the stem. So we know that will happen with tomatoes. We want a very, very good root structure, so we want to plant them deep. We want to plant them deep now, and we want to plant them deep when we transplant them to the actual garden. This is our final product of all of our tomatoes. The containers have been completely filled now, and all that's left is to give them a little bit of water and let them grow. I will definitely keep you updated. And here is an update. It has been 1 week since we transplanted the starts into their own small containers. They are really growing quickly, and they're doing great now that they have more space and can get the nutrients that they need. Thank you so much for joining me today and talking about repotting tomato starts. Until next time, goodbye.